covering what we did yesterday with ratios and rates. You can work with the person at your table, and this is going to tie into what we're doing today. So you don't need to get started just yet. Let me give it to you, and then I will go over it real quick on how to do it. You can use your computers for your calculator if you need to. So don't start just yet. Okay, so a reminder from yesterday, we did ratios, well, we've been talking about ratios, but we did rate and we learned unit rates. So, can anybody remember from yesterday, what is the rate? Rate was on the left side. Yep, Lauren?
Wait, what?
The rate.
Isn't that just a regular problem?
That is the problem. So in the word problem, the rate is going to be what you're dividing, right? Good job. All right, and then the unit rate. What does the unit rate have to have? What makes it different? Nathan? Take a shot. So it has something different than the rate has.
Oh, one?
Oh, where's the one?
Denominator?
Yes, ma'am. It has a 1 on the denominator because it is saying how much one quantity is worth. So the rate is the problem itself, and the unit rate is when you solve the problem. And what operation are we doing to solve the problem? Division. Perfect. All right, so let's look at this first one together before y'all after you start. All right. Number 1 says mowed 3 yards for $25. So if I want to write the rate, what am I going to write as the rate? This is the problem. So basically the fraction. What would I write?
3 divided by
25.
So what goes on top? 25. And what goes on the bottom?
30.
3. Perfect. This is the rate. I want you to go ahead and fill that in on your rate side. So the rate is just the problem itself, what you're going to solve. So we're trying to figure out if he mowed 3 yards for $25, how much did he get paid every time he mowed 1 yard? So we're going to divide this. I want you to go ahead and use your Desmos calculators now, because you are going to get a fraction for this. I mean a decimal for this one. But you're going to divide it. And then once you get there, let me know what you get for your unit rate. Can we put that way, please? Thank you.
So you didn't read the answer?
Unit rate is the answer, yep. So you just divide out the answer that you get, that is the unit rate. And since we're talking money, just round it to the nearest 10 cents. So put your thumb up when you get it. Put your thumb up. It's a repeating, but because it's money, just round it to the nearest 10 cents. All right, Jalen, what did you get?
8.3 repeating.
8.3 repeating. So how can I write that as money? How many places am I going to go? Twice. Because he made $8.33 every time he cut 1 yard. So that was what you would write as your answer. So technically, it is written as a rate. This is a unit rate, but we know any number written over 1 is a whole number. So you don't need to include the 1, just the answer. So go ahead, take a few minutes, and work through this. You can talk with the people at your table, but you're going to write the rate, and you're going to write down the unit rate. And if you have any questions, you can raise your hand. The trickiest part is just making sure you know which number you're putting on top and on the bottom. When we're doing money, you typically always put the money on the top and divide it by the quantity that you're doing. $127 on top, because you're trying to figure out if it's 120 miles on 6 gallons, how much was 1 gallon, which means that's going to be your bottom number. Anytime you're trying to figure out which one to be on the top or the bottom, just think too, which one are you trying to figure out how much of one would it be? For example, if you look at number 4, 10 chocolate bars at $11. They flipped it, but you're trying to figure out how much one chocolate bar is going to be, so what number would be on the bottom? Look at number 4. So 10 chocolate bars cost $11. You're trying to figure out how much one chocolate bar could cost, so what number is going to be on the bottom?
10.
10. Perfect. So 120 miles on 6 gallons. You want to know how much 1 gallon is going to be. So which one will be on the bottom? Mhm. Good job.
Miss Moon.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this right?
Let me see. For this one?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, because you're trying to see how much in 1 hour it would be. You doing good, Jalen? Good job.
Is this big right?
Yes. So 7 pencils for $13. So 1 pencil. So you just round it to the nearest. Let me get mine. Okay. This one? Yes, but what do you have to put here to make it? Yes. Good job. Make sure with your money that you have 2 decimal places. So you would put that 1, and then how are you going to make it look like money? What else do you need to add to it? Mhm. Yep. So we'll just add it there. Good job. Perfect. All right. Sit tight for a sec.
Maybe it's 7 on top.
I'll come by and check and see you. We're gonna go over it together. So this one's talking about money. How do we make that represent money? What do you need to add?
It's hard. Yeah, this one. Miss Moore. Oh, I got it. Trying to figure out how much money we can put in the car. Oh, I forgot what it is. Oh my. Trying to figure out how much the pencil cost.
Okay, so for this one right here, we have
13.
7 pencils for $13. So how much is 1 pencil? What number needs to be on the bottom?
So now that you get this crazy.
There you go. Yes.
How do I write that down?
So how you had it here was right.
Oh, okay.
Because yours trying to see 7 pencils for $13, so how much would 1 pencil cost? So 1 pencil would be on the bottom, so 7 would be on the
So
bottom.
$1.85.
Well, you have 85, look to the neighbor, what's that number?
7.
So what's that gonna do?
8.
What's above 5? So you see we always look to our neighbor, so we have 857, but 7 is telling us 5 to do what? Go up to a what? 6. Because you're gonna round up to your 6, so 186.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You're done? Okay. I'm gonna look over really quick, and then we're gonna go over them.
Next one. What question are you? Number 8. I mean, yeah, number 8.
Good job.
So
Okay,
we
we'll get them all together in a second. You done with it? Well, it looks like what we did was good. Here, let's plug that one back in your calculator. So we don't need to round it all the way up to the next, so you would just round it to the nearest.
8.
So we have 1.857, let's say 725 to do. Let's go up, so it'll just be 1.86. You done too, Malik?
Number 8.
All right, in a couple more minutes. I'll give you about 1 more minute, and then we're gonna move on. We're gonna go over it. You're done. You done, Ellen? You need a new pencil? You need to sharpen that one. Mhm. Are you done? So for that one is $13 for 7 Now, we know we have $1.80 something cents. So we try to do that as we go up and down. So our rate is at 7, telling us 5 to do. Maybe we'll say the same, we'll go up. Go up. So what's one of the Alright, you guys are done? Alright, we're gonna go over it. So, alright. You guys good? Alright, I'm gonna have you guys come up and write the answer that you got. Okay. I'm gonna do it by volunteer, I'm not gonna make you. Alright, so for number 2, who wants to come up and write the rate and unit rate? Alright, Faithlin? Who wants to do number 3? Okay, when she's done, Lauren, you're on number 3. Who wants to do number 4? Aisha, when she's done, you can do number 4. You don't have to. You just do $36. Yeah. Alright, number 5, Amora. Number 6, Amaya. Number 7, Corey. Number 8, you can repeat.
Owen.
Number 8,
Owen.
Owen, do you want to? Somebody want to go again?
Yeah.
Jalen, number 8, number 9, Lauren, and number 10, Kamora. Okay, so who was number 3? Lauren? Alright, first let's look at this one. I'm sorry, 1 second. Alright, so we had 5 calculators that cost $180, so we're trying to figure out how much one calculator would cost, so the quantity's on the bottom. And when she divided that out, she got $36. Put thumbs up if that's what you got. Perfect. Alright, number 3. So hers was 120 miles on 6 gallons of gas. So she put the 6 on the bottom because we're trying to figure out how much 1 gallon of gas would cost. And when she divided it, she got 20 gallons. Put a thumb up if that's what you got. Perfect. Good job, Lauren. All right, number 4. So hers was 10 chocolate bars that cost $11. So we're trying to figure out how much 1 chocolate bar would cost. So our 10 is on the bottom. Perfect. And when you divide it out, you get $1.10. Put your hand in there if that's what you got. Perfect. All right, number 5. All right, hers is 10 inches of snow in 5 hours. So we want to know how much snow they got in 1 hour. And so she got 2 over 1, which is the same as 2. So they got 2 inches of snow in 1 hour. Put your hand in the air if that's what you got. Perfect. All right, number 6. These are all important things to know because if it continues, if all of these continue on a pattern, or say some of you guys, when you have summer jobs, you want to know how much you're making on 1 lawn that you cut. Or yesterday when I was sharpening those hundreds of pencils, I could have found the unit rate of how many pencils I sharpened in a minute, and that could tell me how many more minutes I have left to sharpen all of the pencils. Alright, Amaya's is 7 pencils for $13, so her quantity was 7 on the bottom, perfect, and she got $1.86. Raise your hand if that's what you got. So some of this one was the rounding part, but because it was .857, we round that 5 up. Alright, Corey, number 7. So we have 8 batteries costing $30. So we want to know how much one battery would cost. Alright, you got $3.75. Raise your hand, that's what you got. Perfect. Alright, number 8, Jalen. His is 5 movie tickets costing $20. A lot of these rates involve money, which is important to know because you gotta know if you're getting a better deal or if people are cheating you out of your money. Alright, thank you, Jalen. So he got $4 for each movie ticket. Raise your hand if that's what you got. Perfect. 2 more. Number 9. Is that you, Lauren? $9 for 4 cans of tuna. So we need to know how much 1 can of tuna costs. That's expensive tuna. It's only like 99 cents. $2.25 is what she got. Raise your hand if that's what you got. Perfect. Alright, last one. Nora. $18 for 5 books. So we're going to want to know how much for 1 book. Question. Thank you. So she got $3.60. Raise your hand if that's what you got. Perfect. Awesome. All right. Make sure your names are on these. I am going to collect them. And then go ahead and get out your Chromebooks because we are going to do a little project on this. But you get to put your own creativity in it. So it'll be fun. So get out your Chromebooks, go to Google Classroom, and I'll explain what you're going to be doing.
This is the one for
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Is it young and more virtual?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to pull it up on my computer too so I can show you. So we're putting this into real world play, these rates and ratios. Because you do it every day, you just don't always notice that you do it. So I'm going to do that first one with you, and then I'm going to have you guys do your own, but I'm going to explain it all. All right. Okay. So you should be on project unit rate. And let's look at it together. So, key thing to note is that you're going to put in all your information first before you start changing the colors and the themes and inserting pictures. you are gonna make this your own, so you can make it as creative as you want. So there's a show called Let's Make a Deal. So you guys are gonna be pretty much, that's what you're gonna be doing. So you'll insert your name. So here's an example. So calculating unit rate, remember to use price per unit. So they have two examples. This is the Market Side Potato Soup, which is a name brand. And this is the Great Value Loaded Potato Soup with garlic butter and flavored croutons. This is the Walmart brand. They put down the price for both cups of soup, the amount, so that's what's important to notice, and on every product it says the amount. So this cup is $2.87 for 16 ounces. This one is $5.48 for 33 ounces. Which one of these is bigger in general? The Great Value. So this one is pretty much double in size. And then you calculate the unit rate. So to do that, we're trying to figure out the best price per ounce. So you're trying to see how much money are you spending. You want to spend less per ounce. So we put the price over top of the ounce and divided them out. And so for the Market Side Potato Soup, you're paying 18 cents per ounce of soup. For the Great Value, when we put the 548 over the 33, you're paying 17 cents per ounce of soup. So which one of these is the better deal? The Great Value one. And so they wrote it down there. The Great Value one is better by 1 penny. Now, 1 penny is, that's up to you. If you could splurge. I know a lot more people would probably want the name brand. So that's what we're gonna do. So for this one, for a couple of them, they give you the information. So we're gonna come back to this. So for this one, they have Oreos, Food Lion or Walmart. This one is pizza, they give you the information. Detergent, they give you the information. This is stuff that you guys can use now when you guys go shopping, and when you're older, you're gonna wanna use it so that you save money. Then we're gonna come down here, and this is the part of the project you're doing on your own. So which soda, so there's links to different sodas. They have Walmart, Kroger, Food City. You can also Google search, but you're gonna find a soda, 2 different types, or it could be, you could do like Dr. Pepper versus Mr. Pibb. The price and the amount. The amount means how big it is, so how many ounces you're doing. Divide it out, get your answer, and write the better deal. So you're gonna do that they have this directed for soda. I'll get your question in 1 second. This one is chips. You can pick whatever chips you want. This one is popsicles. Pick whatever popsicles you want. This one's pack of gum. And then this one is you can pick any item, whatever is interesting to you, something that you actually buy in your own life. So maybe if you're really into makeup, you could say like L'Oreal mascara versus Maybelline mascara. If you're really interested in sports stuff, you could look at a Walmart glove versus going to Bass Pro Shops and buying one of their gloves. I don't know, they don't have gloves there. But just whatever is interested to you. All right, let's look at the rubric, because this is a project grade. So this is gonna be, you don't have to finish it today. We're gonna start it today. We'll work on it again tomorrow. You should be able to finish by tomorrow. So this is how to insert pictures. I can also help you along the way, because you are gonna want pictures for all the items, just like how they included. This is more information on how to insert stuff. How to change your theme and background, they walk you through that, because this should be colorful, this should be unique and creative. That's one of the things you're graded on, to make it look how you like. This shows you how to. All right, and here's our rubric. So we have the scale from 10 points is the best you can get on these certain things, 8.5, 7, and 5 points. So completion. A perfect score would be that it is fully completed assignments on all slides. So make sure you don't delete any slides. Make sure you don't skip any slides. If it's partially completed, you get 8.5 points. Barely completed, you get 7. If you didn't do it at all, 5. Accuracy. There are no unit rate errors. So I want to check to make sure that your math was correct, that you divided out properly, and I'm here to help you along the way. There are no errors. If you have a few errors, you get 8.5. Some errors, 7, and if you have a ton of errors, 5. And then the last one is effort and neatness. 10 points, a perfect score if you showed excellent effort during independent work time. made the slides interesting and fun to look at, and included pictures. So if they're colorful, like how these slides are, you have your pictures that describe the items, that is a perfect score. An 8.5 is that you showed good effort, you tried to make it nice and neat, and it was organized and easy to follow, is 8.5. A 7 points is if you showed a little effort or your slides are unorganized, maybe you mix the order up, they don't match, that is 7. And if you did not do any of the directions and you didn't change anything, then that's 5 points. Let's do this first one together, and then you are on your own to start working.
Oh, I
So-
can't see that.
For this first one, we have Oreos. So Food Lion has Oreos on sale. The Food Lion Oreos are $5 for 2 boxes. So how would I write that as a unit rate? I'm trying to figure out now how much 1 box of Oreos is costing. So 5, and you can write it, hold on, let me see how they,
Wait, please.
I'm gonna copy, you might wanna come and take theirs as like an example, copy and paste it. So then you can just fill in your own numbers, might be easier. Oh, they didn't take their bar with them. Let's see. Let's see if they'll let us copy just the bar. If not, I'll show you how to insert one.
I know. I think I know.
You think you know, Jalen? How'd you do it?
This one time, it was in 5th grade. I copied some, and I pasted it.
Okay, well I think that worked for me too. So if you go back up to this and you select it, you can either right click and say copy, or you can click Control C and it'll copy that, and then just go and paste it where you want it. So 5 over, we said 2?
5 over 2.
Perfect. And then, so it might take some playing around with to make it look like how you want it. Oh, I'm gonna hit tab a few times. Nope, I'm not, because that changes your thing completely. I'm gonna just space it out. All right, somebody in your calculator solve 5 over 2 for me to get the unit price.
5
Unit
over
rate.
2 equals.
Okay.
5 over 2 equals 2.5.
2.5, is that what you guys got, everybody? Okay, so 2.5, which would be $2.50. And then just how they had it, make sure you write per whatever it is. So this is your example to keep referring back to. So this is $2.50 per what? Per box, perfect. Per box. And then you don't have to write price divided by ounces. That's showing you what to do. All right, now this one, we have $2.98 per 1 box. So what am I dividing? $2.98. I'm gonna paste my little thing back. Sometimes they might put it up top, you gotta move it. $2.98 per 1, but what do we notice about this? What do you notice that's different about this one? What does it already have?
1,
So what is it already?
2.98.
It is, yes, and what is it already called? What is it called when there's 1 on the bottom?
A unit fraction.
A unit rate, unit fraction. So that means 1 box is $2.98 per box. So now we need to know, does Food Lion have the better deal, and by how much money? So who has the better deal? Food Lion. Now, can you guys tell me how much money it's better by? How are you going to figure that out? Subtract. So put these in your calculator, 298, 298 and 250. You got 42 cents, Corey? And you're going to type in complete sentences.
48 cents.
48 cents. So Food Lion has the better deal by 0.48. 48 cents. Did they put a dollar sign in here? Yep. So you would do it like this. We're going to use that one as our example. 0.48. Alright, this makes sense?
Yes.
So then you leave this slide up and you just move on to the next one. So go ahead now, I'm going to be walking around, move on to the next slide and do this one. It might take, you might want to do it if it's easier for you to do on paper and then put it on your screen, whatever works. And if you'd rather do your last slide on poster board, you can, or you can choose to stay on the computer. But I'm gonna come around. You're gonna work on this the rest of class today, and then we're gonna work on it tomorrow, so don't feel rushed. Jayla, what did that first slide say? Can you scroll back up to that very first slide? Wait, can you read that for me?
Putting all your information focus for starting changing things, clothes, and inserting.
Perfect. Is that what you did?
I'm still doing copies.
Did you put all your information in first though?
No.
No. So make sure you guys don't start getting creative until you answer all the questions. Because the questions are the harder part, making it pretty is the easy part. So make sure that you guys put in, I'm gonna come to you right now. Make sure you put in all of your information first. Yes, ma'am.
I need to open the board.
Okay. So if you go up here and you click this bar and hit Control C, then when you come here, you should be able to click in your box and Control V, and there's your bar. Now you can move it around.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And you help with the bar too? Okay, so you're gonna go up to this one that has it. Click that bar and hit Control C. Also right click and copy does it too. And then we're gonna come down here. You hit enter and then Control V. And it might not put it where you want it, so then you can just flip it and move it around where you want it. Okay?
I need help.
The bar. Okay. So you click this one and click the bar. And hit Control C. So hold it. Alright, you can let go. And then when you come over here, so I'm gonna go ahead and erase the divided by line. Now hit hold Control and hit V. And hit copy. And then you come over Control V. And then you should just be able to keep hitting Control V, and it'll keep
A
it.
unit rate is how much each box costs.
Yes, ma'am. We did that one together in class.
This is
I'll put it back up here on the
So
board.
it was two what?
The first one, the second one's 298. The first one, I got pulled back up.
What's one called?
This is too harmless.
Here it is. And make sure that when you do change your colors, which should be the last thing that you do, make sure that you still make it so they're colors that someone can still read your presentation. Alright, you need help with the bar?
It's slanted, is it?
That's okay, but you can also click your bar and move it wherever you want. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You good, Owen? Okay.
This is clearer than I have it.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, you can, if it's not all the way to the right like that, that's okay. You can put it down. Just make sure you have the information is the most important part. Yeah, well, how? Okay, go back to the PowerPoint. So we're doing $9 for the three forms. We need to know how much one is the cost. That's our quantity. So what number is one on the bottom?
What was the number that she
Three. So 9 divided by
48.
$3. That's how much money it costs. So you're gonna write it out still. 9 divided by equals $3. $3 per pizza. Make sure that you guys have the per in there as well, so that we know what the unit rate is for.
At this time.
Make sure you use those examples. Now you have 2 examples done.
It's gonna mess up my,
Which one?
because I accidentally clicked it twice.
You can delete it. Just hit backspace. and delete it.
Am I doing this right? Do I have to do this example?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, from C.
Per box, and then just like, go from like,
You got it?
per.
I know these slides are making me hungry.
Oh, no.
I eat this pizza.
Yeah,
Me too.
we had a,
So that's why it's important to know, because you could see if that pizza you were saving a better deal than getting a different brand of pizza. Because you always want to save money. So you can hit enter. And then that will be just like that. And then to get over there, I just hit space, because if you hit tab, it'll take you to the next cell since it's a table.
Oh, I get it. Wait, this is
So it would be what?
it will be 3.
Yep. But still draw out the problem.
So it will be 9,
Mm-hmm.
and then the bar thingy.
Hit enter. You can, now that you have it, now that you have it in your, like, copied, it'll always be there. So when you just hit Control V, it'll show up.
Hello.
Hello, there it is.
Yay.
Once you copy that little bar, Control C, it'll always be there. So all you have to do is just click Control V.
And then we got.
You gotta make sure. I will wait to the end to view color. Okay. So don't change the colors anymore. And then when you do go back and change, I need to make sure I will maybe change the font white so that it's easy to read. It's on. So for this one,
Okay, I see you.
yes, so like you go to Walmart. Well, this one's already on there, but these ones, he picks his own soda, and then he'll go to Walmart or Kroger or
Oh,
Food City,
okay.
wherever, and he'll pick it.
Mhm.
Mhm, yeah. He'll pick 2 different brands, yes ma'am. Okay, what? So you put it right there, so this is where you would do 9, and
Don't worry about it.
the bar.
Just be on the line and see what happens. Okay.
And then 3, just like that, and then space it out. So you put it all in the same. Then when you do your equal sign, that's your unit rate. Uh-oh, my computer's going to sleep.
I'm on the limit and I can't think of them.
You can't think of anything? Which pack is that? 2 different brands? If you click on these ones, I think they link it to gum. Did you try that? Okay. So, what kind of gum do you have? Oh, this is gum. Yeah. You've been picking your own ones? No, the only other ones you do your own is the very end. So this one's type of popsicles. That's why you gotta use the Walmart.
I'm gonna see if you don't. Wait, Miss Moore, I'll divide that. 9 divided by 3. I don't know how much Walmart's are.
That's why they left the link for you, so you can click it.
Hey.
Do you have a question, Peyton?
Huh?
Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.